Knew I should have took the Enderal beforehand. The little beta blocker, you know, the heart's going. What, do you want to put us on tape?
You're on.
I'm on. Well, good evening, Tiger fans. This is Dr. Ray Bazinski, proud to bring you another inning of fantasy play-by-play. Game against Detroit Tigers against the Oakland A's. They say April showers brings May flowers, and for once, Mother Nature wasn't fooling us. It's a beautiful May 1st night here at Tiger Stadium. Unfortunately, the Tigers aren't faring so well. Down 4-2 to Oakland as we begin the 5th inning.
They're down 5-2, Doc.
It's 5-2. Lost one their last inning on the way up to the booth.
Sleeping at the switch.
What else is new?
Walter Terrell's finishing up his warm-up tosses to begin the 5th inning. Jerry Brown's going to lead it off.
Darrell's thrown a lot of pitches this inning. This game, Doc. He's got to be getting a little tired, and matter of fact, Sparky may begin winding somebody up. Earlier this game, Doherty was warming up back in the 2nd.
Well, Dave Stewart's thrown a lot of pitches tonight, too. It has not been a pitcher's kind of ball game this evening.
Yeah, but Stewart's worked himself down a little bit. 1-2-3 inning, bottom of the 4th. And now, everybody, bring you the play-by-play, Lou Richards.
Thank you, Doctor. Jerry Brown steps in, hitting a mighty .273 for the former Indian. Terrell's pitch, wide for a ball. And Walt's had a little bit of trouble finding the strike zone this evening. Kicks and fires. Ball 2. Having watched Walter pitch last Friday night in a steady downpour here at the ballpark, I just can't understand what it is with him this year. Ball 3.
Well, it's the same story with all the Detroit pitchers this year, Lou. Just can't seem to find the plate.
And when they do, the batter seems to find the ball. Strike is in there. Walter thanking God for small favors.
This was the worst April for the Tigers since 1959, going 7-14.
Geez, you and I weren't even born then.
But always remember, back in 1987, Tigers started off 11-19 and didn't be going anywhere, and suddenly came up with the best record in all of baseball.
Brown pops one. Still on the infield. Whitaker calls, makes the grab. That'll bring up Mike Bordick, young shortstop, 1 for 2.
Yeah, he singled back in the 3rd inning when the A's scored 1 of their 5 runs. Young shortstop hitting .359 so far for this young season with 10 RBIs and no home runs.
Walter's delivery in there for a strike. Right-hander kicks and fires. Got the corner for strike 2.
2 good pitches there on Bordick.
Well, Walter has not always been known as an overpowering kind of pitcher. He's been a nibbler and looking for some more success tonight. Pops it foul.
Tiger Stadium has always been kind of a favorite for Walter Terrell. He's 48-23 in his career. 2 separate tours of duty with the Detroit Tigers. Came to Detroit originally back in 1985 for Howard Johnson to trade with the New York Mets.
One of the really boneheaded trades, I would think, in Tiger history as far as I'm concerned.
Well, Walter's been a steady force for the Tigers, but no denying that Howard Johnson has become quite a ball player there for the Mets organization.
Bordick lines into the stands down the right field line. Someone got it. Yeah, given what Howard Johnson has meant to the Mets since that trade, I don't know. You got to wonder sometimes, hindsight being 20/20, of course, but what would have happened? foul down the third base line. Third base coach Rennie Latchman just says, eh.
Well,
Doherty's up in the bullpen again for Detroit. Here's a little squibber, a base hit. Center field, Kyler fields it, tosses it into Trammell. We're in the fifth here at Tiger Stadium. Lou Richards around for the evening, along with Dr. Raymond Buzinski. Here on our fantasy play-by-play night. Is that the little white-haired man?
You got it. Without touching that third, and it looks like we're having a pitching
He asked for the baseball, and it'll be coming John Doherty, the rookie phenom who was quite a story in spring training this year for the Tigers. What's the story on him, Doctor?
Well, he was as you said, quite a prospect there in spring training. However, since coming up to the show, he hasn't fared too well. He last pitched on Sunday, went 3 innings, allowed 1 hit, 1 intentional walk, and faced 11 hitters. However, this year the ERA isn't doing too well.
Well, that could be said for just about all the Tiger pitchers this year, wouldn't you say so?
That's true. That's true.
Tigers just can't seem to find the handle on the pitching question, and to be honest with you, I don't seem to know what the solution is.
Well, they lost a lot when they lost Jerry Don Gleaton, who was a steady force for them both in middle relief and in short relief last year at times. Also the starting staff, along with Gullickson, Tanana, Walter Terrell, just really haven't pitched up to their usual veteran standards. Kevin Ritz was supposed to fill a big void, and unfortunately he too has fallen by the wayside. The same thing with Eric King. Eric King has been bombed quite a few times in this young baseball season.
And as the Tigers search for pitching help, they're just finding that there isn't really anything out there. They've got a wealth of talent both at the major and minor league levels, but good pitching is hard to come by, as always. This doesn't seem to be the year when anybody's willing to part with anyone.
Well, that's quite true. If you look right down the Tigers roster, very few of the pitchers have been products of our farm system. Scott Aldridge one, Doherty one, Gakor is another. However, Gakor hasn't pitched all that often this year.
Oh, he's been hurt. Eric King, you could say, was a product of the Tiger farm system too before they traded him away. But that kind of tells you the desperate situation the Tigers are in for pitching when they trade for a guy they were happy to let go a few years ago.
Well, that's true.
Doherty finished up his warm-up tosses. Home plate umpire Mike Riley kicks a little dust off, and is going to step Lance Blankenship. 1 for 2 this evening. Lance singled in the first. Excuse me, it was the second. Sorry, the drugs are just beginning to kick in this evening.
Scoreboard is telling us that Mike Fitzgerald is homered for the Angels against the Indians in the 6th inning. His first home run of the year, a solo shot.
Former Expo finding a home in California. Bordick chased back to first. Yeah, we'll see what the youngster Doherty has.
Well, his last couple outings have actually improved. If he can hold them close. Tigers are only down by 3, and with their firepower, 3 runs might not be much to catch up.
Chopper on the infield. Fryman comes in, throws to first. Whoa, made a tough chance out of it, but still got him.
Nice play. Fryman's really coming to his own at third base this year. The supposed heir apparent to Alan Trammell once Alan's career winds down. However, he has played remarkably well at third base, showing that rocket arm that he has.
There's the throw again. And Cecil almost had to go to the dirt for that one.
Back a few innings ago, he snagged the ball down the line and threw the runner out by 3 steps.
Doherty about a month shy of his 25th birthday here in the major leagues. Ricky Henderson steps in. Ricky stole base number 1,000 in the first inning for Oakland. To a mixed reaction from this Tiger Stadium crowd.
Well, he's quite a talent, but sometimes not too much for the public eye. Kind of cocky in his own way.
2 for 3 tonight, and not having a Ricky Henderson year at the plate with a .244 average.
Well, it's early this season. I'm sure Ricky's going to be getting his share of hits and walks and stolen bases.
The count has fallen to 2 balls and no strikes. Doherty doesn't want to really give Henderson anything to get a hold of. Ricky with those goofy green batting gloves. Runner breaks from second, nothing doing.
In addition to Ricky Henderson's known speed, he's also quite a powerful little hitter. Matter of fact, holding the major league record for the number of leadoff home runs in a game.
I would have thought that would have kind of fallen to Lou Whitaker.
Not quite, even though he's tabbed a few during his time.
Ricky gets the intentional 4th ball with 2 down. Brings on Carney Lansford. Carney back at the plate this year after missing all of last year with a bum knee, and looking pretty solid.
He's hitting .380 at this point in the young year. He's always been a good hitter, hitting close to .300 in his career, and has been a good steady third baseman for the Oakland A's throughout the middle and late 80s.
Carney slices one, it's in there for a base hit. Bordick comes around to score. Henderson will step into third base standing.
That's Carney Lansford's 3rd hit this evening and his 1st RBI. He's got 2 runs scored. He's been quite an offensive threat so far for the Oakland A's. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the 1992 poster child for a bad attitude, Jose Canseco.
Jose greeted by his normal welcome here at Tiger Stadium in his 3 trips to the plate this evening.
He's 1 for 3, hitting into a 6-4-3 double play in the 2nd inning to end that inning.
Henderson the runner at 3rd, Lansford at 1st. John Doherty kicks and fires. According to the scoreboard, there was no pitch. Looked like a strike to me, Doctor. What do you think?
I think our home plate umpire did call that a strike. I think somebody's asleep at the switch.
Jose swings at strike 2. Our vantage point here in the 3rd deck of Tiger Stadium, it's kind of difficult to see the umpire at times.
Yep, and it's official. It's a strike 2 count on Jose Canseco.
The NBA playoffs tonight, Pistons ahead at halftime by 10, 49-39. And we want to congratulate the Red Wings on their victory last night in Game 7 of their first-round series. Doherty's pitch in there, see ya, to retire the side. You're tuned to the Detroit Tigers baseball on the Fantasy Play-by-Play Network. We'll pause for a quick timeout.
Nothing beats it. Nothing beats a Budweiser. Clean, crisp
Lou Richards and Dr. Raymond Bazensky back with you at Tiger Stadium. We're in the middle of the 5th inning, halfway through the ball game.
The Oakland A's are up 6-3. Excuse me, 6-2. Well,
don't give the Tigers credit for a run they don't deserve.
Well, Cecil's coming up to the plate, and you never know. Just give you a little rundown on the league standings to date. In the AL East, the Toronto Blue Jays are 16-7, and leading the American League East, the New York Yankees, by 2 games. In the AL West, the Oakland A's are in first place, a game and a half ahead of Chicago. In the NL East, Pittsburgh is leading with that hot start that they had, currently 15-5, 3 games ahead of the New York Mets, and the San Francisco Giants are ahead of Cincinnati by half a game in the NL West. Now Cecil Fielder is about ready to step up to the plate, and back with the play-by-play, Lou Richards.
Thank you, Doctor. Dave Stewart's first offering to Fielder in tight for a ball. The wind has been blowing out straight to center field most of the evening. It's canted around to right field at the moment. Cecil gets a hold of one, but
it's a major league pop-up.
It went about 400 feet the wrong way. Lansford makes the play. In steps Mickey Tettleton. 0 for 1 for the evening.
With a walk in the 3rd inning. Tettleton hit a sacrifice fly back in the 1st inning, knocking in Detroit's 2nd run.
Stewart's kick and fire in there for a strike to Mickey Tettleton.
Tettleton's got 16 RBIs on this young season, along with 7 home runs, most of those occurring in the last 13 games.
The 0-1 from Stewart. High, ball 1.
Tettleton won the Silver Slugger Award last year for the top offensive catcher in the major leagues, as well as a number of players for the Detroit Tigers, fielders and Tettleton included.
Stewart's offering Mickey with a mighty swing. The breeze felt good. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Mickey Tettleton. Stewart seems to have settled down quite a bit. He's getting the ball in there with some consistency. He had some problems in the 1st inning. Tigers really unable to capitalize.
That's true. Had bases loaded with 1 out, but a line-out double play by Travis Fryman.
Tettleton fouls down the first baseline.
Well, Stewart's a veteran. He's had a slow start this year, starting off 1-2 with a 3.86 ERA. There in the late 80s and 1990, he was sort of known as Mr. April. Seemed to be unbeatable during that time, only 1 loss during a 3-year stretch. However, either Father Time or the American League has caught up to Dave Stewart, and he becomes a little bit more of a target early in the season.
Stewart's offering to Tettleton. Oh dear. Mickey, the McMeister, down on strikes. With 2 down, designated hitter Tony Phillips, the former Oakland A's, steps in.
That's the 5th strikeout for Stewart this game. As you said, he seems to have found his niche.
Tony steps in hitting .237.
Tony's 0 for 0 this game with 2 walks. His major league leading 24th walk.
Tony lines one past Bordick at shortstop. On at first base with a single. A beauty.
Well, Phillips had a slow start this year, only hitting .232. But I'm sure as the season goes along, Phillips will get a share of hits from all sorts of places in the Tiger batting order and all over the field. Playing in 8 different positions last year for the Detroit Tigers. Quite a utility man, fits Sparky's mold to a T.
In steps Travis Fryman with 2 down, Phillips at first.
Fryman's the leading hitter for the Tigers this year, hitting a 300 clip.
Takes a strike.
He's 0 for 2 this game, however, lining out into a quick double play. second baseman doubling fielder off at second, and striking out in the third.
Stewart again, strike 2.
Well, I would like to make a fantasy play-by-play hello to a wonderful young lady, your big dork.
Who could that be?
Well, some lucky guy.
0-2 from Stewart, gets away from Jamie Quirk. Phillips slides into second, but he would have been there anyway.
That ball from Stewart was in the dirt, listed as a wild pitch.
Just as I was about to mention that David Stewart's got his control back, and he seems to be picking up the pace a little bit. First few innings seem to plod along. There you see the ball in the dirt. Quirk makes a good attempt, blocks the ball, but Phillips able to advance anyway. 1-2 count. Travis Fryman stands in. Stewart checks the runner at second base and fires. Strike 3, see ya. That'll end the 5th inning here at Tiger Stadium. Lou Richards along with Dr. Raymond Bazinski. As the ground crew comes out, it's time for us to say good evening.
Well, as usual, Lou, it's been a pleasure working with you, and I hope to get the chance to do it again soon.
Thanks a lot, Doc.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.
We'll see you again for Detroit Tigers baseball and another Budweiser Fantasy Play-by-Play.